Hello, welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. Last week, we were going into total nuclear annihilation, absolute war, total devastation, apocalypse, Armageddon, even. And here I am this week. We lived. Um, so, this week has some pretty interesting news. Not O.J. Simpson being dead news, not Iran being blown up by Israel news, but pretty interesting news nonetheless. I'll start it off with the FCC just announced they're going to restore net neutrality. So gone are the days of your ISP throttling your internet speeds until Trump gets into office once more. And his FCC simply takes a bribe from Verizon, allegedly, and they restore it. So here's the tweet talking about it. So yeah, and I saw a lot of people talking about Ajit Pai is probably crying right now because they restored net neutrality. He got paid. Don't worry. Don't even worry about it. He doesn't give a shit, dude. He got paid. He was on the FCC. He was a part of the FCC when that law was initially passed. And then he became the chairman under Trump. Allegedly took a bribe from some of the larger ISP companies, and it took the combined effort of the entire internet to stop him, and it failed. Like, we failed to stop him, and they repealed it. Since then, ISPs have been throttling people on websites that they don't want people to go on. I know there's a local ISP near me that throttles Netflix because they want you to use YouTube TV or some stupid shit like that. And people have been jumping from their service as a result. But yeah, gone are the days of that. Entering the new age of you can do whatever you want on the internet, and the internet service providers can't do anything about it. But I feel like if Trump wins the election, he's just going to appoint someone to the FCC that is willing to take a bribe to repeal net neutrality. I don't understand why ISPs think they can get away with that. I guess because they think we're so heavily tied to the internet, we'll just allow that to happen. My phone stopped. But I don't think they understand it's just not going to work in their favor. Not nowadays. Maybe the old people would have put up with it like they put up with cable TV for so long. I don't think the younger people are going to put up with that shit. I think we'll always find a way around it. So, yeah, that's the FCC news. Some pretty cool news, some pretty good ones. Follow that up. Let's talk about a lighthearted, fun topic: Iran and Israel. Yay. So yeah, Iran and Israel. I mean, what do you even say about that one? So right now it seems that the Iranian government is saying that they will retaliate in a more... They will start to consider nuclear options more if Israel targets nuclear bases. And now Israel is asking for more aid from us. The Biden administration is like, oh my God, we have to help them. Please, we have to help them. More than half of the people in Congress are being like, we need to send them so much money. I'm really sick of it. How we have to keep paying for forever wars that now they're starting. Before I was sick of paying for our forever wars. Now other countries start forever wars. And all of a sudden, we have to help them. Let's say there's a NATO scenario where one of the NATO countries aggressively starts a war with another non-NATO country. In my opinion, I don't think we should help that country. There might be something in the NATO agreement that says that if they're the aggressor, we don't have to help them. But I'm not too sure about that. But not that Israel's in NATO, but Israel basically serves the same position where they are under our watch and they keep provoking these wars, and then the U.S. is drawn into them, and we're forced to help them. So, in addition to that, people are protesting on college campuses and getting arrested in droves. And someone made a funny, not funny, but like horrifyingly true kind of funny. Like, it's so true that it makes it funny. That, and they showed footage of the police like going in and just aggressively beating the shit out of these peaceful protesters and arresting them. And they were like, if we saw this happening in Iran, like the U.S. would be begging for a regime change. You know, we'd be plotting another overthrow of a government. But because it's happening here, we don't care. I saw a video of a guy who was on the ground, already handcuffed, and the police just like had their taser in his leg. It's like, what are we doing? Why are we putting so much energy into stopping a peaceful protest calling for a ceasefire and calling for the American government to cease all funding of the genocide? I don't get what's so hard about it. But no, apparently we need a large police presence to stop these peaceful protesters. Anyways, moving on. Moving on too soon, but there's not much I can really say about it because the protests are going on right now. What I wanted to talk about. Oh, hold on. What I wanted to talk about was the way that social media has, not even social media. I'm not going to pin this on social media. I'm going to pin this on the immense algorithm that TikTok has. I love TikTok. I love how we are able to spread information on it. The thing I don't like about it are when normal, everyday people get drawn into the public eye because someone wanted to be a clout-hungry crybaby bitch. So it started. I'm showing all the response videos, by the way, because a lot of the originals are gone after they were embarrassed by the private citizen. It started when a tattoo artist went on her TikTok and was like crying about how she, her and the customer supposedly fucked up the customer's tattoo, and then the customer was being mean to her and she was like devastated. She even says in the video this isn't the first time she's done it. But yeah, I'll show this and it'll lead into the woman's response, the client's response. And then I'll give my bigger point on it.
Look at the stencil, I put it on. I took a picture of the stencil on her and fucking showed her. And then she pays and like goes to leave and she's looking at the picture and she's like, you fucking spelled it wrong. And I'm like, dude, what do you mean it was spell checked? We both looked at it. And she fucking is pissed and she's calling me a dumb bitch and like...
Also, it looks like she's doing this in the tattoo shop. That's so embarrassing. And you look so identifiable and it's very easy to find out who you are. I would assume she got fired after this. Putting your customer on blast like this. Here's my issue with it. Is that what it does is it basically makes it where normal everyday people will go through a situation, and instead of dealing with that situation internally, they immediately post it to the rest of the world. And everyone involved in that situation is forced against their will to make it public. And a situation like this, it's really easy to find. Sorry, my throat's hurting a little bit. It's really easy to find out who this person is. It's really easy to then stalk their mutuals, stalk whoever follows them, and then eventually the person who did get the tattoo maybe says something about it on social media to their friends and family. And now the public has that little string to attach onto, and they go, oh my God, I think we found the girl. And then that thrusts that girl into the public eye. And I think it's just so annoying how incentivized people are now to publicize every fuck up that they make, or take a situation like this one and manipulate it in their favor to like ease their conscience almost. Which I don't get how that makes you feel any better about the situation. Because you know when a TikTok goes viral like this, the person you're talking about is probably going to see it. And the person did see it. That's what this video is about to be.
I'm sorry.
So I was trying to handle this off of social media.
See?
But when I text this girl to confront her about lying in this video, she blocked me on everything. Like on Facebook, she blocked my TikTok after I was commenting on all her videos, asking her why she lying. And I just wanted to address a few things. So as an artist, if you know you gotta put your concentration into some work and you don't feel up to par that day, and you don't want a tattoo like she said in the video, she never said those words to me. You should stay home and don't take no clients, because why would you want to put art on somebody with bad energy? Like that just don't make sense to me. A tattoo is not that deep. I'll come back the next day or whenever you feel up to par. And another thing, I don't understand why people were saying, why did I get 2 tattoos or whatever was in the comments. I can't see them no more because I'm blocked. But that's what I always do. I always get a tattoo.
That's the other insane thing, that she hadn't even made a response video yet, and she was already blocked. That's scummy. And a lot of people say that in the comments, is that it's gross. And another thing, a lot of people will get tattoos, 2 tattoos in one day. Sometimes it's even at the suggestion of the tattoo artist, if they're having like a nice session, or if you're the only one booked for them for the day, they'll go, hey, for like $30 more, do you want this small tattoo added that you didn't plan for? And the client will go, yeah, sure, why not? And so that's usually how that works. I think most people, though, that are on this girl's side understand that. So I think most people get that, especially if you've gotten a tattoo before.
Be like, I want another one. So what's the deal? I'm spending my own money. It's not yours. And I never said that it wasn't partially my fault. I never, ever said that. So I understand that I need to look at the tattoo that I'm getting like more than a few times, because obviously I wasn't focused enough to, and I trusted her enough to know how to fucking spell words. So that's my mistake, yeah. But also as an artist, you should know your homophones pretty much. Like you putting words on somebody, you should be making sure that this word don't have another word that sound like it but spelled different and stuff like that. Like, and I showed her on my phone the tattoo that I wanted and how I wanted it spelled and how I wanted it to look and all that. So of course I'm a just skim it, which again, my mistake, but it takes 2 to tango.
And I love how she's like also taking responsibility for that part of it. I'm pretty sure the original video got deleted, but this is what I mean though, is this video should have never even existed, nor should the original one have existed. The original one is what spawned this one. This should have never even been made public, you know. The only reason this should be made public is that if she tattooed the wrong thing, like if she had been like, hey, I have a cool idea, you want me to just tattoo it on you? And the girl goes, okay. And then she shows her the right thing and then fucks it up in the middle of the actual tattooing. Then, like, if they don't compensate you, then, like, maybe take it public. But don't, like, do what this girl did where she goes, oh my God, you know, I gotta go on TikTok and immediately be like, oh my God, I messed up this girl's tattoo. Oh, like, don't do that.
Now, the part that I posted of her video in the beginning of my video, that's the part that really ate me up, because when did I ever cuss at you? When was I ever aggressive with you? So why are you sitting here shedding these little crocodile tears trying to get sympathy for something that didn't even happen, that's partially your fault. Like I said, if you don't feel like you don't want a tattoo today or whenever, don't. I'm not pressed. It's plenty other tattoo artists out here. And she keeps saying in the video that she wasn't gonna tattoo. Turn down the money unless you really need it that bad. Like, I really, it's not that big of an issue. I would have came back a different day. And then she talking about it took two and a half hours. It took an hour and a half. All she did was black out this tattoo that I had got prior. And that took 5 minutes, and she was going to charge me $80. And that's another reason why I wanted to get another tattoo to get some more of that time. Because 5 minutes and $80 for you to black that shit out? Like, come on. And she's saying that it only happened a couple times. So don't you think that you need to, like...
That was the other thing that was crazy, you know, because at first I was like, when I saw the original, I was like, oh, you know, I get it, you know. You fuck something up, decent mistake, but then the client was rude to you. Like, I understand why you're upset. The part that turned me away from her side before I ever saw this video was her going, oh yeah, this is like not even the first time I've done this. This is like the second or third time this has happened. And even some of the comments were like, are you fucking kidding? Like, some of them were like, girl, like, come on. This is not the first time. If it was her first time ever doing that, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. This is your second or third time? I hope you're an apprentice. And whoever is, like, teaching you needs to fucking say something to you at least. Like, that's what turned me away from it so quick. How do you mess something up like that more than once? Like, spell check it or something. I've always heard people be like, don't get words tattooed on your body because it's the most prone to mistakes. And it's like, if you are going to get a word tattooed on your body, can you, like, spell check it at least? Like, Google it first? Make sure you got it right? Ugh, I just, like, I don't understand it. But, I mean, she's lying anyways. It's crazy that she even told the truth about that part. So, yeah, it's... Ugh, man, so many things wrong with this. And you're going to see in the next few videos, or next couple videos, how unbelievably stupid the people provoking these fights are.
Lord have mercy. I don't even know what to say. I just know I was going to go back to her so she could finish fixing it. This how it looks.
Oh! I haven't even seen it yet. I didn't pre-screen this. Oh my god! That's like a fucking cut, dude. It's like she fucking busted out one of these. She went, alright. Time for your... Hold on. Time for your tattoo. You know, and then like etched it into her skin with a spike. Oh my god. Also, look at this. This is sick, right? This is called the Spike. I got it at the Blade show when I went with one of my old friends about 6 years ago. Look at that here. Look at this. It's called the Spike. It's really sick. I've used it to open up letters sometimes. I don't think I've ever used it for anything like what it's actually meant for, but it looks cool and it has a sheath. So, pretty sick. I've had it for 6 years now. My friend bought something called the Kraken. It's like this giant, like, tomahawk axe looking thing with a spike on the back of it. Anyways, sorry, side tangent. I just wanted to show off my knife. Hold on. That's horrible, dude. That's horrific. Oh my god. Dude, she like mangled her. Holy shit. If you're on audio, which I doubt you are based on my analytics, it looks like she literally carved her arm. Oh my god. Ooh. I needed to add that TikTok. I need to add the TikTok to the doc where the girl's talking about it. I only heard a girl describe it, which is what made me want to talk about this even more. Because I had already seen this at that point, but I hadn't like watched the whole thing. I just saved it. Another girl was talking about it, and she was like, "Girl, that's an open wound." I agree now. That's like prime for infection. That tattoo artist is like gonna be liable or something, unless she like signed a waiver. That's like negligence though. I don't think a waiver would even save you from that. A waiver would save you from like if you did it correctly and then they got it infected because they weren't taking care of it properly. Then like the waiver would protect you, I would think. But like, I think this is gross negligence. I don't think a waiver would cover something like this. Oh my god.
But I'm gonna just get that shit covered up and get it how I wanted it originally, because that's not even the place I wanted it in. Like, she was just trying to make a few bucks for the day or something. I think that's the last thing I got to say.
That's like when you take a few extra DoorDash orders, and it's like close to the end of the day, so you just take like no tip orders so you can get a couple more bucks in before you go home, or like before your shift ends. When I used to DoorDash, I used to do that, but like I'm just delivering food. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get to the restaurant whenever I feel like it. It's gonna be cold by the time it gets to you, and I've eaten a nugget or something. Like usually, it's just me taking the shit bag orders who like didn't tip. You know, when you're a tattoo artist, I feel like that's not the profession you want to be like. I guess I'll come in for the day. You know. That's like a band, like the lead singer losing their voice, and they still go up to perform, and they just phone it in, knowing that their voice is all fucked up. It's kind of like that. Like you just shouldn't be doing that as a tattoo artist.
I'm not sure yet. But she sent me my money back. I left out the shop. I got my stuff. I got my kid. And I went outside and I sat in my car for like 10 minutes. And like a few hours later, she messaged me on Messenger and said that she wanted to send me my money back. So I was like, okay, you feel that bad? You want to send the money back? I'll take it. Because, of course, I'm upset about the tattoo, but it wasn't no big deal. She said she could fix it. I was going to let her fix it. But she sent the money back and then blocked me.
That's even weirder. What? That's even weirder that she sent the money back and still posted that TikTok and still blocked her. Why would you do that? And it's like her friends are gonna find your slanderous ass video and send it to her. Oh, she privated her account? Wonder if she just flat out deleted. Blocked on Facebook and TikTok? Oof. Wow. Blocking out everything makes me feel like she's in the wrong here, even if it's both of y'all's fault. I don't blame the client. I think it's just a decent mistake, like an overlooked thing. Like you didn't necessarily plan on getting a Love Conquers All tattoo, and then you went like, fuck it, we'll get one. And you both missed the spelling. I think it's more so the tattoo artist's fault for fucking it up like that, for fucking carving the Grand Canyon into your arm. That's like a goddamn machete wound, dude. Yeah, I can't even tell if it was spelled wrong or not because of how fucked it was. Look, I think like, sorry, that was a long string of silence. Look, I think, you know, she can take part of the blame for the misspelling. But I think everything after that is so fucked up. You shouldn't be publicizing the situation, and especially like slandering the client in it. But also, let's be real here. The tattoo is like a butcher job. It's so fucked, dude. It's horrible. But that's kind of my main point. So the next example I have is a woman who is a little bit more public. She's a verified TikToker. The context here is, I mean, I guess she'll probably get into it, but she she got her start by like trading stuff and then traded it all the way up to getting a house. And then decided, well, I don't need this house, so I'm going to give someone the house for free. They just have to pay the bills. But like from what I understand, the mortgage was paid in full. So the house was already paid off. They would just have to cover the bills and taxes. But then the person she gave it to never signed the deed and all that. The only reason we know all that is because the girl who received the house posted a TikTok basically like completely slandering the original creator, the person who gave them the house. Just totally slandered her. So we'll watch her response. I'm fairly sure the original is deleted in classic fashion. So we'll watch her response. So this is another case of like, why are you slandering people online? You know it's gonna backfire. Are people that arrogant and stupid? They don't realize that it's gonna backfire on them when they do stuff like this, when they just fucking lie and all that. Oh, new legend in Apex got leaked. Again, one of the skins for her got leaked at least. She looks sick. Anyways, off topic. Let's watch this TikTok.
Hi guys, in the last 24 hours you might have seen this video. In order to protect Shay, I had decided not to post.
Yeah, when I literally won a house from a TikToker but then was later banned from the property. Why are you posting stuff like this when the other person has numerous receipts and is far more trustworthy? And I mean, the receipts is a big thing. You know, usually if it's he said, she said, back and forth, it's like easier to, it's easier to ignore. And you don't know whose side to take. She has like fucking receipts, dude.
Anything about this entire situation, but now it's time to come with the receipts. It's going to be a long one, so here we go. On January 25th, 2022, Shay moved into the house. She brought her boyfriend, her boyfriend's mom, and all of her animals. Everything seemed great. She sent me a video. It looked perfect. We had an Amazon wish list put up, and you guys were sending tons of packages to her. But on July 31st, 2022, so a little bit more than a month later, I got this strange message from somebody that lived next door saying that there were tons of packages outside in the rain. When I messaged Shay about it that same day, she said, quote, I'm trying to...
So this part's only important if you know that in the original video, she claimed that the woman that gave her the house wouldn't let her have any of the packages. That's why this part's important. Skipping ahead a little bit.
Somebody who would take all the Pasha, who lives
The
in
neighbor
the
was
area
storing it in
and
the
was
shed.
totally willing to keep everything safe at her house. But this is where things really start to go downhill. From July 31st, I continued to message Shay that we had her packages and that we were looking for her to return to Clarksville to get them. And I'll look at the dates. From then, August 9th, August 12th, August 13th, August 15th, August 16th, August 18th, August 19th, August 24th, August 27th, and into September, I messaged her about coming to get the packages or returning to Clarksville, and you can pause.
Yeah, so the girl moved back home and like abandoned the house pretty much. So you'll slowly start to see through this response why that girl was eventually banned from that. Not even banned, just like she never signed the deed, so she never got ownership of the house. She never really lived in it. It's a huge bag fumble.
On September 27th, it had been almost 2 months of storing Shay's packages with no sense that she would return, so we decided, Natasha and I, to donate all of the packages to Goodwill. On October 6th, 2022, it had been 4 months since she had been at the house, and I asked her if she had ever planned to return. And I'll actually look over and read this directly because this is like a little bit heartbreaking. So she told me she was a bit overwhelmed, which I completely understood by the situation, and that she had gone back to Pennsylvania. Totally fine. So I replied, oh my gosh, I totally get it. That seems so reasonable. Either way, I'm so proud of you, and you'll figure it out. In the meantime, I don't mind managing everything that comes up. I'll have the grass cut for the next year. I just want to make sure you're okay. And that if you need anything, you can get it. You can pause to read that entire conversation as well. On January 12th, 2023, so about 6 months later, I again messaged her, this time saying I needed to transfer everything into her name. And on January 24th, 2023, she replied that she needed to think about it. She was sorry about all the poor communication.
So yeah, she keeps dodging. And so this is from 2022 to 2023 so far. Let's just say this. By this point, red flags should be popping up. And I think she says they were. I think that with the way the housing market is right now, this girl was 19 when she got that house, when she was gifted it. Think about how insane that is. You're a poor person, and you win this free paid off house. You just need a job to pay the bills and the taxes. Think about that. That you receive this free house and then you fumble it. Imagine that. You fumble the shit out of it. And everybody in the comments is saying it too. I go off the comments a lot because the comments are usually a good gauge for what the hell is going on. And I think it's absolutely fucked up to receive this house and do what she did. And you're going to see in a minute what she did to this house. Because, my God, dude, not only was she flaky, just all the stuff she did to the house while this woman hadn't been there.
She was moving back in. We were giving her time, but she never moved back in. So August 13th, 2023, I actually went down to Clarksville to see
8 months later
what was happening with this house. She hadn't been there in 14 months, and this is where things get insane. We got to the house, and the house was completely ruined. Everything inside, but essentially there was pee on the ground. All of the garbage that had been used in the month that she was there was jammed.
Yeah, look at this. She said the garbage was all jammed in the closet. Look at this, dude. How do you fuck up a house like this so bad? I've never been able to understand how people can mess up a house like this. How are you not able to take care of a house? Is it really that hard? I can understand like your bedroom looking messy. I mean, mine looks messy all the time. But the overall living space, like how do you mess that up? It's so easy to not make it dirty. And people still manage.
Into closets, so you can imagine what it looks like after 14 months. I've never seen anything like this.
14 months, by the way.
I cried in the front yard of the house. Just can't imagine that somebody would do this. And after 14 months of me talking with her this entire time and her saying she was moving back, we're just waiting, we just needed more time. And I honestly believed that.
That's horrific, dude.
I'm gonna check the truck. We might have some in the truck.
I mean, that's like beyond.
Like, actually so sad.
That's like beyond being negligent at that point. That's just being like the worst person ever at owning things. That's just being like wildly irresponsible as a 19-year-old. And so this is tier 2 in our system here, in our discussion of people lying on TikTok when they were clearly in the wrong. Normally, in a normal world, if you do something wrong, you internalize it, you cope with it, you accept the fact that you did something wrong, and you move on. Usually the person you wronged has already moved on long before you. At that point, you're just feeling guilty and you need to get it off your conscience. The fact that nowadays the method is to go on the internet, like TikTok, and just lie about it, especially thinking that the person isn't going to see it and respond. You know, the girl that responded to the tattoo artist, that's 2 people that are not well known, and one made a TikTok and it blew up. The other one made a response and it blew up even harder, and people sided with the person who responded. This is a situation where you're just a normal person and you made a TikTok lying about a prominent TikTok creator. How did you think that wasn't going to backfire on you? She has footage, she has receipts, she has messages. You know all of that. You know she has all the messages. You think she's not going to make a response? Especially when you're slandering her character. People knew this video was about her, by the way. when they watched the original video criticizing her, people knew it was about her. So of course she was going to make a response. She has an image to keep up with. And it looked like y'all had resolved it before the video. So you just reopened that can of worms. Now you're in even bigger shit. Deeper shit, I should say. You not only do you have the guilt of fucking up the perfect housing opportunity. Someone said that she's going to be paying that mortgage in like 10 years, regretting every move that she made during this situation. And I agree. I'd be regretting it for the rest of my life if I turned down a mortgage-free house.
Sad for her, like so sad for the house and the journey, and like, I just like don't know who to be sadder for. This is so fucking stupid.
That same day, I then messaged Shay and told her I was devastated that she had ruined the house, and she apologized.
So look at these detailed messages. They're heartfelt. And then look at the response.
You can pause to read those screenshots of her apology.
Look at that. And she's so forgiving. What the fuck is this, dude? What is this milquetoast ass response?
Apologizing. I then spent the next 24 hours with Bobby cleaning.
This is also just like not knowing how to respond as being a young person. So look, they like somewhat resolve it. She's a little too forgiving. You know, it's not her fault that she's that forgiving. She seems like a genuinely nice person and wants to see the best in everyone. But this girl clearly took advantage of that fact. And then she went ahead and made a TikTok about
the
it.
Entire house, cleaning maggots and trash and everything that was left there to put the house back into the state that we had given it to her in. So after I got home, I thought about posting the video and the content of the house being destroyed, but I decided it wasn't worth it from...
And look at that. She spared her the fucking like Warhammer. Oh, I didn't even transition back to it. I think I need to show the messages. I don't think I showed them. Here's the messages. Here's the response. Here's the other lame ass response. She was gonna spare her the embarrassment. She was gonna spare her the embarrassment. And she still got a video attacking her about it. Girl got spared and she still fucked it up.
The house back into the state that we had given it to her in. So after I got home, I thought about posting the video and the content of the house being destroyed, but I decided it wasn't worth it from a human perspective for me to get views and show this damage when clearly this is a person that has a lot going on in their life.
Still being overly forgiving, by the way. I would not have been this forgiving. You know, I just... Yeah, people saying you handled this so well. Yeah, I can't even imagine being this forgiving for someone, and I can't believe the original girl, even made a video about it.
People would attack her, and in some ways I still wanted to try to protect her. Like, it's really sad now that it's come to this, but I figured I owed you guys every receipt, every screenshot, all the things that have happened in the last year and a half with this house. Yeah, just so you can understand. That's it. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
So yeah, she's nicer than I would have ever been. I think my point that I'm trying to show with these videos is that it's these private people who basically have the comfort of the world not knowing what they did. And yeah, this video is just a video of a woman recapping it with more detail. But yeah, It's just these people that have the luxury of like not being exposed for being horrible people, and then they still fuck it up for themselves anyway. Oop, I didn't unmute it.
The trade house drama. Oh my gosh, this story is going viral, and I'm going to give you the full recap. The drama started when Shay posted that she had been banned from the house she won on TikTok. Shay's post went viral, with everybody wondering what happened. Once the answer came out, Shay ended up deleting her account entirely. This is Demi. Demi is the creator of the Trade Me project. Demi started with the bobby pin and traded her way around the country for different items until she became the owner of this home. Well, Demi didn't really need the house, so she decided to have a promotion and give it away to someone in need, and she chose Shay. Since Demi has millions of followers, this house giveaway came with a lot of other perks. People from around the world were sending gifts for Shay's housewarming, and they even gave money towards her education. Well, Shay moved in with her boyfriend's mom, and all these pets, and everything seemed to go fine until Demi received a message from her neighbor saying, hey, there are a lot of packages piling up on the porch, and it's been raining, and the packages are going to get ruined. What are you going to do? Of course, Demi was surprised.
So that's the context behind the packages, by the way. I'm not going to show any more of it because it's the same stuff being recapped. But, yeah, this girl fumbled so hard. So I want to bring up a wider point, and I've talked about this with friends of mine and people I know. What is the obsession with getting into some kind of like drama with someone in your life or messing something up and then going online and lying about it for views? Because it almost universally backfires for everybody if you're in the wrong. If you're in the right and you have enough evidence, you usually get away fine. But a lot of people like that don't publicize it because they don't want to. They don't want to deal with the hassle. But the people who are in the wrong, you're being spared the public embarrassment already by it not being public to people around you. I've been in friend drama before, especially a few years ago, and I never spoke about it with other people. I tried to keep it as quiet as possible. If they were to ask me about it because they already knew stuff, I would give some detail but try to shy away from it. But I would never go on my podcast or go on my live streams and talk about it in detail. I would never make a short or a TikTok about it. You know, even if I, painted it completely truthfully and I even like talked about the parts where maybe I was in the wrong and I even gave a lot of evidence for both of the sides. And I was as like objective as possible. What is the goal in that? People don't need to know my private life, and they definitely don't need to be exposing the private life of the other people involved. At that point, you're robbing the other people involved of the free will to make that public themselves. I'm at their mercy completely if they want to publicize it, and if they publicized it and morphed it in a way that made it sound like I was the fucking devil, then yeah, I would obviously respond like these people did. But that's what makes it so wrong, is that these people felt the need to respond to something at all. The original video shouldn't have even been made, So that's kind of my point, is that this shouldn't even be a thing. The whole phenomenon of making videos about your fuck-ups and spinning it in a way that makes it sound like you're completely in the right. That shouldn't even be a thing. And this isn't anything really all that new. People used to do this on YouTube all the time, but it was always like bigger YouTubers doing it to other big YouTubers. Now it's like normal everyday people can hook on to that fast algorithm and get sucked into the public eye with this video that they made, maybe even thinking, oh, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just a way for me to vent and even twist it a little bit so my friends believe it. But then when the whole public gets it, they go, oh, who are they talking about? They dig into your accounts. You're not media trained, so all your accounts are public and who follows you is public, and then it leads back to the people you're talking about. And now people know who those people are. They're going to harass them. And now that person they're forced into the public space to talk about it. So I don't know. I think it's a really awful thing to do to someone, to force them into that kind of situation. So yeah, those were all the topics I really had. Unless something new has happened while I'm recording again, and there's some breaking news. Doesn't look like there is. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything crazy has happened while I was recording. But yeah, alright, I guess that's the end of the episode then, since Bing doesn't want to give me any news stories. No way they overturned the Harvey Weinstein verdict. No way. The New York Appeals Court ruled 4-3. What are we on? What was their justification? God, dude, if you're rich enough, you could just get away with anything at some point. Shit. Yeah, I think that really proves that if you're rich and powerful enough, you can really fucking get away with anything. The only other breaking news I have is that NASA found spiders on Mars. Or what looks like spiders. Cool. Thank you, news article. Anyways. Alright, that's the end of the episode. Enough stalling from me. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you like my new shirt. I like it. I like the little stripes. I look like a little dude. Just a little guy. Talking about little things. Next week, maybe I'll have a hard hitter. Depends on who bombs who between now and then. Alright. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go subscribe on Patreon and maybe even listen on streaming services if you don't want to watch it. Alright. Bye-bye.